from now, maybe 10 years down the line, we will not have China trying to dictate terms to us along our borders. We will not have China trying to play Pakistan against us. We will not have China trying to build a road on sovereign Indian territory. We will not have China trying to create trouble for us using Maldives, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, all these. We have to think about this, and to talk about this is one person whose YouTube video, when I saw, I was deeply impressed. And that's the reason why we are picking this story up tonight on The Right Stand. It is Sonam Wangchuk, renowned inventor, innovator. He's got plenty of patents, but a very, very proud Indian who's been trying to do a lot of work for the people of Ladakh for many decades now. Sonam Wangchuk is joining us via Skype from Leh, and he has a few points to make. We'll go across to him. We also have Praveen Khandelwal, Secretary General, Confederation of All India Traders. We'll try and understand their point of view. Why are traders buying so much from China and dumping it into the Indian markets? Is there an alternative, or is there a pressure? Then we have Dr. D.K. Agarwal, President, the PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and we'll talk about manufacturing. Why have we lost the focus, and why have we stopped manufacturing, not manufacturing as much as we can? PPE kits is an example that stands out. Vineet Goenka, also data sovereignty in the pursuit of supremacy. He's also a BJP leader, but he's been actively talking about giving up apps which are coming from China. Disallow China the penetration via its hardware and software technologically into our systems, because they can creep in and they can influence us as a society and control us as a society. We'll talk about all these angles, but first to Sonam Wangchuk. Sonam, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Sonamji. Your message was timely, where you said our borders will be defended by our soldiers with the bullet, but it is the Nagrik, that is you and me, who have to hurt China with our wallets.
Yes.
Please explain and your thought behind this, and how can we do this?
Yes, so this kind of incursions have been happening, especially in Ladakh, where we endure it. Every year there's some incident that brings them few 100 meters inside. And now this is the limit where they're doing this after hurting us and the whole world with this pandemic. And we normally, citizens, leave it to the army to respond. And I don't think that's enough, especially for a country like China. It's nice and fine for them to handle the military face-off, but what will be more difficult is if every citizen takes it up as an issue, every citizen becomes a Sainik in responding with their wallets. We don't have to go to the border with guns. We have much easier and more powerful, I would think, ways of handling it. So if we do not finance their armies indirectly to do all this misbehavior at the border and hurt them economically, that's what hits them very hard. As I say in this video, they are doing this thinking India is a soft target, and manhandling it will get them support from their own angry citizens after all this bungling they have done in their own country, where economy is down. And China being a totalitarian regime, they always have the greatest fear from their own people uprising in a democratic revolt. So we should be judicious, we should be smart in using our wallets and not supporting or patronizing a regime that is bad not only to us, but their own people who are like bonded laborers working for a regime. The only hope for them is the GDP and the prosperity. And that's what keeps them from a revolt. And that's where we should act. So I think wallet should be the other response this time, together with the bullet. And that, I'm sure, will bring them on the discussion table. Otherwise, just getting forces on the border will not be enough. They actually want to show this tension to their own countrymen and garner their support. We should not make them successful in this. We should make them even more unsuccessful economically, so that there is more fear internally for them.
You have done plenty of innovations. You totally changed the face of education in Ladakh, because you said you can't have an alien education system being pushed on students who want to learn, but you got to teach the way students can learn. You brought in the ice stupas to stop the water wars. You also have a campaign going where you're saying, let's get into minimalistic, way of life. Even with your clothes, you say, I don't need to iron my clothes. I wear only khadi. You wear. How can you explain to us? How can we do it as Indians, as society? It's easy to say that let's try and beat them by the wallet. Can you simplify? Can you give us examples how you and me, at least say, teach me, tell me, what can I do next time where I can say that this is what is going to help them build that trade balance of 5.2 lakh crores where we are putting money into the Chinese pockets. How can we stop that?
So I say in 3 ways. One is to not patronize and support this, financing of their regime and their army. Second, we can help our country is by getting our act together. What is stopping us from becoming more efficient, our products more cost effective? So our workers, our managers, our leaders must become more effective and efficient, and that is also a form of patriotism. We are unpatriotic when we are inefficient, lazy, and our productivity is low and our products don't compete. So that also has to happen. What is stopping our tech savvy, graduates by the lakhs that we produce from making apps that our own youth could use? Why are we depending on Chinese apps like TikTok and waste our time? Why can't we have alternatives that are better and or as good? So we need to be good also. At the same time, our citizens should prefer our own local products. As the Prime Minister says, Atmanirbhar and Swavalambi. That can happen when we have both of these happening together, that we make good products and we prefer local to faraway products that support a regime that is that doesn't have a good human rights record, that has been very irresponsible to the world in how it handles such serious issues like the pandemic that can cause so much damage, and then keep covers on it where the citizens have no rights. They disappear, where nations and Xinjiang have been gobbled up. How can we support and patronize a country like that? I call it a personal economic sanction. Every country has sanctions against rogue nations. What our government does is our government's view and choice, but we citizens should also have personal economic sanctions on regimes like that, and that's how we can best use our wallet. So this also, I think, needs to be done. Now, as for alternatives, you talked about alternatives. I think the Indian culture and ethos is not about always replacing some cheap and useless, not even needed product with another one, even if it is Indian. I would rather say we should, as the Buddha said, our achievement is more in conquering desires rather than fulfilling thousands of desires. So why not go back to our ancient ethos and live simpler lives? Why do we need 10 pairs of cheap shoes from China? Why can't we happily live with 2 pairs of good handcrafted shoes from our own people? So we have to also change our way of thinking. Many people ask me, can we really, will it be practical? Will people be able to manage their life? I think we have to look at life differently from how we see. Rather than trashing so many cheap products that go into the lakes and rivers and pollute, we should use less and live simpler and judiciously use our wallet to support who need support, like workers, skilled craftsmen, and our own industry in India, rather than blindly, for saving few rupees, sponsor a regime like this.
Fair point, sir. I'm just going to take this across to voices within the industry. We've got the traders, we've got the manufacturers, and we also have somebody who's been an ardent advocate of data sovereignty and saying that let us insist that any app manufacturer, any app that wants to flood the Indian market, needs to keep its servers in India so that the data is with us and we own it, not them. Look at TikTok. You talked about TikTok. Every other platform today wants to be on TikTok. TikTok has 600 million users, if I remember the number correctly, in India, whereas they have just about 100 million odd users over in China. So, and it's a Chinese app. We don't know where they're taking this information, parking it, and what they're going to do with this. And they're also pushing a certain level of, messages which are subliminal within society, which are pushing a particular narrative. We'll talk to Vineet Goenka about this in just a bit, but let's talk about the trading aspect. Praveen Khandelwal, where is the issue? Why is it that we've now become a trader market and largely for Chinese goods, China Mal?
Well, first, on behalf of 70 million traders of the country, let me congratulate Sonam Wangchuk. We have seen his video, and definitely it gives us a very solid message. Secondly, because of certain reasons, because of the consumer choice, the traders were forced to import from China the cheaper goods, and for a consumer, it doesn't matter whether it is a quality product or a dumping yard for India. And traders were forced to import the products from China. But after this COVID, two important things have been done. We have seen a major shift in the mindset change of the consumer, where now consumer is more aware about the local products instead of Chinese products. Now consumer is prepared to pay a little high price for Indian products in comparison to Chinese products. That is the shift of consumer. On our stand, after the call of Prime Minister for local, vocal and global, we have identified 3,000 items which are finished goods which were imported from China. And absolutely, our Indian manufacturers are in a very comfortable position that they were already manufacturing those. So we have identified in first phase 3,000 items, and for those 3,000 items, we will create a massive awareness campaign soon after the lockdown is over across country, awareing the consumers and the traders that these 3,000 items are finished goods where no technology is required, and our Indian small industries are manufacturing this. Let us put our focus on that. So this program will go on a mission mode. And my third thing is what Sonam Wangchuk was telling. We have identified. See, luckily in India, every city is known for certain kind of special items. Like if we talk about Firozabad, it is known for the bangles. Or if we go for some other Moradabad, it known for brassware. So what we have done, we have identified certain cities where our small karigars and the workmen are doing work, which was not acknowledged before. Whether it is hand painting, whether it is handcrafted sari. So we have identified all those certain cities in the country, which comes to about 200 at this moment. And we will be showcasing the products of specialized products of those 200 cities to our countrymen. Even our countrymen don't know that these things are available in India. And we will provide them over VCs, we will provide them the market for their products. And my last point is that the Prime Minister has time and again asked the traders to go on digital. So we the Confederation of All India Traders, in active guidance of Ministry of Commerce, DPIIT department, in the second week of June, we are going to launch a 100% Indian e-commerce portal, which will be known as Bharat E-Market. And that Bharat E-Market will provide market to every people of India. The data will remain in India. All money will be invested by the Indian people, by our traders only. There will be no element of any foreign investment. And we will show the world what really the e-commerce means. So that portal will provide all kind of marketing window for local products. And lastly, we are not going to give a single paisa for creation of individual store and no transaction charges will be charged
Praveen ji.
for the transactions made.
Sir, I welcome all the announcements that you're making. But why did it need a COVID-19 for you to identify 3,000 items from our country? You can say that consumer ये मांग रहा है, पर ये भी तो आप मानेंगे कि जो ट्रेडर है, that trader also said कि चाइना से माल मेरे को सस्ता मिल रहा है, मैं उसमें मार्जिन प्रॉफिट ज्यादा कमाता हूं तो मैं कस्टमर को बेच देता हूं. Which trader turns around and says ये चाइना माल है, हम आप नहीं रखेंगे, ये क्वालिटी खराब है, ये मत रखिए, ये पर 100 रुपया ज्यादा होगा लेकिन ये इंडिया में बना है, इसको चलना चाहिए. There is a certain level of trader push also which is required, and 3,000 items is a drop in the ocean compared to what we are importing from China. Please accept this as humble observations and I'd like to know your view here.
सर मेरा कहना सिर्फ ये है कि हमने एक शुरुआत करी है 3,000 आइटम के साथ. देखिए चाइना 3 तरीके का इंपोर्ट करते हैं. एक तो हम फिनिश प्रोडक्ट इंपोर्ट करते हैं, एक हम रॉ मटेरियल इंपोर्ट करते हैं और एक हम स्पेयर पार्ट्स इंपोर्ट करते हैं जो हिंदुस्तान के अंदर हमारी असेंबली यूनिट्स हैं वो फिनिश गुड्स बनाती हैं. जहां तक फिनिश गुड्स का सवाल है वो उसमें से हमने पहले 3,000 आइटम किए हैं. अब आप कहेंगे कि पूरा क्यों नहीं किया, तो देखिए उसमें जैसा आपने खुद कहा कि ये हो सकता है इसका परिणाम 10 साल बाद आए. ये एक लंबी यात्रा है. हम 3,000 आइटम के साथ अपना मिशन शुरू कर रहे हैं, नंबर 1. नंबर 2, आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि ट्रेडर ने क्यों चाइना से इंपोर्ट किया. देखिए इंडिया जो है वो कंज्यूमर ड्रिवन मार्केट है, ये आप उससे एग्री करेंगे. और चाइना में जो इकोनॉमी है वो प्रोटेक्टेड इकोनॉमी है, हमारे डेमोक्रेटिक इकोनॉमी है. तो ट्रेडर जब ट्रेड करता है तो उसका धर्म है कि वो कंज्यूमर की चॉइस के हिसाब से कंज्यूमर को वैरायटीज दे. पिछले 10 सालों में या 15 सालों में हमने ये देखा कि कंज्यूमर सस्ता मांगता है. लेकिन मैं आपसे ये भी एडमिट कर रहा हूँ कि अभी कोविड के दौरान कंज्यूमर्स ने चाइनीज प्रोडक्ट को मांगना बंद कर दिया है और अब कंज्यूमर वापस हिंदुस्तान के प्रोडक्ट की ओर जाने लगा है. तो हमारे ट्रेडर्स ने भी ये तय किया, जितने भी इंपोर्टर्स हैं हमने उनसे बात की है और हम आपको ज्यादा दूर नहीं जाना, ये जो दिवाली है इस दिवाली पर हम आपको दिखाएंगे कि वास्तव में ये हिंदुस्तानी दिवाली होगी. इस बार चाइनीज दिवाली नहीं होगी.
Very good, sir. I look forward to that. Now let's take it to the manufacturing part. DK Agarwal ji, why should mobile covers be imported from China? Whereas India has got such a big leather market. Why are phones, when we go to buy mobile phones, why isn't it very clear that these are phones which are assembled in India? Why are we not making those parts in our own country? I'm saying छोटी चीज जो है वहां पर सब जगह मेड इन चाइना लिखा है. मैं मेड इन इंडिया नहीं देख रहा हूँ, मेड इन भारत तो होना चाहिए ना. Where have we faltered within our manufacturing ability? ऐसा तो नहीं है हमारे पास जमीन नहीं है, हमारे पास कारीगर नहीं है, हमारे पास स्पोर्ट्स स्केल अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं है.
I quite agree with you, but mere saying that you buy Indian products will not help us because it is not sustainable. And in a time, in current times when consumer is the king, we cannot ask consumer to pay high and buy quality products because it is Indian product. We have to go with the fundamentals, and what we have to do, we have to give the level playing field to our Indian manufacturers. Our cost of logistics, our cost of production, our cost of land, our cost of labor, our cost of compliance are very, very high. So if I talk about sending material from Noida to Mumbai, it costs 14 rupees per kg. But if I get a material from Shanghai, 300 kilometers away from a city from Shanghai to Mumbai, it costs me 4 rupees per kg. You know, the logistic cost and all the costs which I talk about, they become a very big hindrance. And the other thing is, which I will say, that if you have the right technology, if you invest into research and development, I think these are the areas which India missed. We did not focus on R&D. Our spend on R&D is even now 1% of our total of our GDP, whereas other countries they are spending 3% to 5% of their GDP on R&D. And thirdly, we missed the third industrial revolution when 1970, 1980 was there. In those years, the countries like Taiwan, the countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, they embraced this the third revolution of this technology. Having said all this, still I believe post-COVID, the moment is for India because now there is a lot of disillusion with China. A lot of companies who are having manufacturing facilities in China, now they are looking to shift their manufacturing facilities to other countries. And India has all the ingredients. If you can lay down the red carpet for them, if you can provide them land bank, land with all the infrastructure ready, if you can give them all the sanctions in one go, one window service, and if you can give them a conducive environment for manufacturing. When I say conducive, that means the enforceability of law. That is very important. If the contracts cannot be enforced, people will not come to India. You have to give them there has to be a lot of reforms in labor laws, the way UP has done, Gujarat has done, MP has done. So we have to bring out labor reforms, and every state has to pitch. Every state has to be ready with the industrial park, with the land bank, with all infrastructure developed. When Prime Minister says we need to work on labor, laws and land, I think he's right. When he says we have to work on the 4 pillars of self-reliant economy, that is the modern infrastructure, that is the system which is technological driven. So I mean, these are the things which we have to create. And one last thing I would like to say, that we have to use, because the moment is with India right now. If we could not use Industry 3 revolution, now Industry 4.0 is there, where India can take a lead. We have to use digital technologies to the fullest. The Internet of Things, the artificial intelligence, the machine learning, the big data analytics, this augmented reality, virtual reality, blockchain technology. I mean, these are the things where India can take lead. So India has to focus on this. India has to spend more on R&D. If all these factors are taken care of, I'm sure, if not today, 5 years down the line, we will be the manufacturing hub of the world.
One of the first things which has happened is a redefinition of MSMEs, opening up of perhaps the entire sector, including so many other aspects, and also allowing MSMEs to grow beyond a certain level. My point is that if we have labor, if we have land, if we have opportunity, and if we can create, why aren't we doing it? What is stopping us? And Vineet Goenka, where is the problem? Where is the problem? From Sonam Wangchuk to Praveen Khandelwal to DK Agarwal to Vineet Goenka, we are all for doing things in Bharat. Then why is it not happening? So who's to blame? Should I blame the Sarkar? Should I blame the system? Should I blame the bureaucracy? Or should I blame ourselves, each individual, as consumer, as entrepreneur, as worker? Because we don't take our democracy and our freedom so seriously. Because China में तो डंडा मार के काम कराते हैं. यहाँ पे बोला 12 घंटे काम कराओ तो कोर्ट से स्टे ले आए.
Yeah, so I think the time of blaming or thinking about who has to be blamed has passed on. There is a good mood right now. Post-COVID, there is an environment across. I divide things in 3 parts. Things which cannot be import replaced, or which cannot do it in the next few years because of some constraints. Like for example, lithium. We don't have lithium ore, so we will have to continue importing lithium for a time till we have an energy alternate to that. And something like which can be a medium-term replacement. Very rightly said by the scholar Mr. Wangchuk that you can have an import replacement for a mobile phone in a year or 2 years time. But immediately, which is non-essential replacements can be done, is the applications. The moment I have never gone on TikTok, whereas when I was the national co-convener of IT Cell, there was a lot of push for me that you should go on this kind of platforms. But see, once you decide not to go to a platform which are like this, it helps us. And if we all Indians decide to just migrate out of TikTok overnight, I think we will send a message very, very strong to them. And non-essential items. Why do we have to buy soft toys? If we do away with soft toys, we don't have to do it. And rightly been pointed out by others, my earlier speakers, I can burn 2 mud lamps in place of having an entire string of bulbs which has been imported from China, and we can replace the bullet with pellet. So that right is there. See, we will also understand 2 decades. The compulsions because of the trade treaties and the blocks which we had, whether it is UN, WTO, RCEP, G20, ASEAN, BRIC, China does not come under SARC, but all these multilateral agreements pressurized us. And I think there's a time we as a country should stand up and say, done away with multilateral agreements, we should have bilateral agreements. And number 2, rightly pointed out previous speakers, we have to create an environment. The environment creation is not only a job of government, but it is you and I. And rightfully, today I would thank you and the scholar that you have opened my eyes. If I was knowingly or unknowingly using something which could be immediately been replaced, I'll try to do that. And you have seen me personally over the years. I try to be minimal so that we don't import things. The same thing can be followed by other people also.
I understand.
So the time has come. The time has come where.
No, I'm just asking you, Vineet. Let me understand this between you and Sonam Wangchuk. I'm just going to take this final 2-3 minutes and understand this. You talked about TikTok. Now, why shouldn't I use TikTok? If that platform is available to me, why shouldn't I use it? How do I know as a user that this is wrong? If this application is not supposed to be used, and I've got nothing against TikTok. I'm just saying because you talked about TikTok, I'm talking about it can be Twitter, it can be WhatsApp, it can be Facebook, it can be any particular app. There is an app called Mitro which has got about 500 million users now. It is doing very well, and it's an Indian app. But my point is, if this app is available for me, why shouldn't I use it? So if I'm not supposed to use it, then isn't it the job of the government to say that no, you will not use it? We will not allow these apps which have got which are of origin from one particular country and which has got the data, which is taking the data. Tell me.
Yeah, so good you brought this out. Rightly pointed out, it's being in democracy, there are the market is driven by the demands of the citizens, and you don't dictate terms to your citizens. A. B. Over the decades, we have been signing treaties under WTOs and UNs and RCEPs and G20s of the world or ASEANs of the world, where you sign, and those people who signed that have signed it in perpetuity. I think it is a time, and I would commend the leadership of Modi ji when he said not signing the G20, not signing the RCEP. He said no, if it is hurting us, we will move out of this multilateral agreements. The state has compulsions, state functions within the agreements and the blocks of the world. They have economical compulsions, they have strategic compulsions, they have other compulsions. Whereas a citizen does not have a compulsion. And rightly pointed out by my earlier speaker, I as a citizen can say, if I have a choice, I will not do that, which will hurt my country. Now, country cannot ban TikTok if we are working in a free environment. We are not a communist country where you say use this or not. I personally am fighting with Twitter. You know that I have filed a case against them because they have been abetting terrorism. But I use Twitter to fight with Twitter. Reason because I don't have a tool which is competitive to this. And I am hurt that when we have tools like Samvad from CDOT or CDAC and NICs and BLs of this world can make alternates, we have not done that. Yes, it is a time. We should not shy away from our responsibility, and I would not try to say that as a government, as a state, we have been doing it. But today, thank God, post-COVID, if you ask me what is one good part of COVID, that one good part of COVID is just people like us have started talking about indigenous production, replacement of things which can be done. And I repeat, break it into three parts. One which are long-term and compulsion. You cannot do away with them immediately. But one which is immediately do away with that. Why do we have to buy soft toys? नहीं खरीदा तो बच्चा कोई दुखी नहीं हो जाएगा. बंद कर देते हैं उसको खरीदना. And that will hurt them a lot, because if you see the 5.2 lakh crore rupees import which we do, substantial amount goes to these useless items, toys, play items, and this which we can easily replace. Yes, for some time we may deprive ourselves from
and they're also made out of cheap plastic, which is then thereafter dumped in our own rivers, our own land, and seas around our own borders. That's also another reality. I understand all of this, but Sonam Wangchuk and Praveen Khandelwal, I know you had a point to make. I'll come back to you also, so we'll just stay for 2 more minutes on this. Sonamji, let me ask you this: how do we start? Where do we start? Should we just now start by saying next time I buy a product, I ask, ye kahan ka bana hai? Is there an alternative? If it is made in China, is there an alternative which is made in Bharat? Can we start from there? Can we ask online markets like Amazon, Flipkart to show me when they show me a product, they show me where is the manufacturing, and if there is an alternative manufacturer which is option available which is manufactured in India. Can we ask for this? Can we start from here?
Yeah, I think start from what you can do immediately, especially non-essential things that you don't even need in your life. So you should be guided more by the spirit of the concept. And then, raw materials that go into industry that gives jobs in India could be later. So we'll get there maybe in 2-3 years. Slowly we'll wean off from such things, but start with what we can do. Immediately uninstall apps and things. Yeah. And I think TikTok or whatever, a country like China should be the last one to have any objection, because they have banned Twitter, they have banned Facebook, Google, all of that. So they very well understand. And secondly, I think it's not just about saving money here and there. We should have principles. What is supporting, sinful acts should not be supported. Sometimes people ask me, can we manage our lives? I say, like Jain community in India, they don't eat certain things like onions and garlic. But they don't say when they travel that, oh, it's convenient, let me eat it. They are determined to do what they do the way they do because they support their not. And what you see in a year or two is a new ecosystem develops. Restaurants start serving Jain food. So they don't even have inconvenience. That's what we have to understand at this time, that we can boycott these things, but we have to persevere for 1 or 2 years. By that time, different nations will come up with alternatives, including our own, and companies that make it in China will see that my product doesn't sell if it has a made in China thing. So they'll bring it out and perhaps to India. So we should not be, confused about whether we can do it or not. As I gave these examples, we have to be more determined, our conviction, and use our judgment.
Resolute.
From non-essential to from discarding non-essential to finally even essential things we should start producing ourselves.
Well, very well said. I'm over time. Praveenji, I'll give you another 30 seconds. I'm just going to push the debate by another minute. Yes, Praveenji, you had a point to make.
Well, let me add it very honestly that both trade and industry were failed to identify the alternatives of Chinese product. We cannot blame the government because we have never gone to the government with a substantial proposal कि आप चाइना से ये कर रहे हैं, हम ये प्रपोजल लेकर के आए, आप हमें सपोर्ट करें. तो मुझे लगता है कि हम सबकी आंखें खुलनी चाहिए और हम सब लोगों को अब हिंदुस्तान को आगे बढ़ना चाहिए और हमें हिंदुस्तानी प्रोडक्ट को आगे करना चाहिए. एज ए ट्रेडर I can assure my manufacturers of Indian products कि आप सामान बनाएं, हम आपके लिए बाजार देंगे. और आखिर में मैं एक कपलेट केवल करके अपनी बात समाप्त करूंगा कि फुर्सत तो मुझे भी बहुत थी देश के लिए, फुर्सत तो मुझे भी बहुत थी देश के लिए, पेट भर गया तो मुझे नींद आ गई. तो क्योंकि हमने चाइना से माल लिया और वी वर कंटेंट विद आवर प्रॉफिट मार्जिन, इसीलिए हमने दूसरा रास्ता नहीं ढूंढा. वी मस्ट एडमिट वी फेल्ड ऑन दिस.
Well, and let us start with that admission and be a little more conscious. Let us remember this, that when we buy products of our daily use, which are available, which are brands made in India, the money goes back into our own country. Otherwise, somewhere or the other, it is going to go into another country which has expansionist intentions, which is eyeing this country and which is wanting to colonize this nation, and it's been wanting to do that for thousands of years. And what we are seeing in Ladakh, eastern Ladakh, is happening right now because China believes it has got superior economic and military muscle over India. Let's try and believe in Bharat and try and push for Make in Bharat. That's perhaps one of the first ways to start. That we start, well, a lot of things where we can forego Chinese products and adopt and practice to use and embrace what is made in our own country, in Bharat. Thank you very much to all our panelists. Thank you very much. I'm going to wind up on that note. We're going to take a very, very short